All right, so I am super annoyed with myself today. Um, and I had to step away, which was fine, and think about it. And I'm super annoyed because I keep doing the same thing that's screwing myself over and over again. And I can't seem to break it. So let me explain. What you see here on the chart was from my live stream today. And I called the exact bottom of the session and I entered on my trade. But I went break even. I went to break even on it, and you can see here in my P&L on this corner of the screen, break even, right? $19 break even. And then look what happened. It just ripped, right? Why is that a problem? Because I keep doing it, and I keep screwing myself by doing this exact thing right here. Because I'll get into a trade. I know that I know price is reversing. I know the draw on liquidity. I know the bias, the narrative. I'm getting really good at those things. But I've gotten stuck in this pattern over the course of the 2 weeks of this challenge so far of just chickening out, where I get into the trade and I break even, and then it causes way more problems than I initially anticipated. Now, in this case, it was nice to feel right at first. But the problem with that is this. A number of the times I've gone break even on a trade, it's caused me to have a terrible day. One of the worst days I've had so far in this challenge, where I actually borderline tilted, like it was like the third day in. I went in on a trade and I went to break even on the trade for whatever reason, and then it ripped without me, which whatever, I'm pretty good about that. And then it did this exact same thing, and I tried to short it and I got chopped up shorting it. I over traded and I drew down my account as far as it's been down. And so that one break-even trade caused me to tilt and caused a winning day to turn into a big red day. So in the case of today, I went break-even on this thing. And I had justified it in my head. I said, well, it's pre-930, and I get chewed up pre-930. And I said, well, it's technically not in my macro. It's slightly before. And I said, well, I'm also want to start my stream here, so I got to get things set up so I can't babysit this trade. And I justified breaking even on the trade. And look what happened. I didn't have an entry. Like, I even said this in my live stream. I said, I bet you 930 is not going to give me an entry. And it's possible I could have, maybe if I had some bigger balls, entered on this candle. But I was hoping for an entry down here, and I didn't get that. I didn't get a second chance. So this is ruining my trading. This going break even, it's going to be the thing that prevents me from progressing forward. And even on my chart up here, it says, don't move that stop loss, MF. I got it written in my rules for my trading challenge that I'm not allowed to move my stop loss unless a trade breaks my rules. And I wrote that last week. But I still found several instances in where I was able to justify, well, this isn't in my rule set. Like one, I took an Asia trade, I think. And one of my rules was, well, I got to stream my trades. So then I went break even on that one. And something like 80% of my break even trades where I go break even, they're winners. So I have the data to back up why I shouldn't go break even on the trades. Yet, no matter what, there's just this like instinct to protect myself or protect my gains or my account or something, or the ego doesn't want to lose, right? The psychological side. And that's what's baffling to me is I have the data to show that I shouldn't back out of a trade. I shouldn't go break even on them because, like, look what happens, right? And I put this Albert Einstein quote up there because it's famous and everybody's heard it, right? But it just applied so much to what I'm going through right now. And that's what, in part, why I'm doing this challenge is I'm just putting it all out there. I'm working through my demons, my problems, and my issues in this like public journal format, so I can be held accountable, so my trading friends can see it, so they can offer thoughts and advice, and it can be a discussion going forward. So what then? What do I do? I need to do something. I can't keep doing the same thing. There's no point to sitting behind these charts if I'm just going to do the same thing. So then maybe I need to have a rule of no break even. Like if I get into a trade and I didn't scope it out well enough and say, like that happened the other day. I was like, I went into a trade and I was like, oh, shoot, the drawn liquidity was incorrect. I exited out of it. And in that instance, I think it actually ended up saving me. But it's hurting me more than it's helping me. So maybe my new rule needs to be, I can't go break even on a trade. Like, I can't, even if it breaks the rule. If I've entered a trade, that's my mistake, and I got to accept the outcome no matter what. So maybe that's the answer. I feel like if I can stop this problem from happening, like I'll actually progress forward pretty quickly. I've been noticing this for a little while. I think this has been up on my chart for a good few weeks now. Even before I started this challenge, I kind of noticed it happening previously when I was trading in evals and things like that again. So yeah. Well, that's my biggest problem. That's my review of the day. I took the trade of the day and I still came out of the market with no money. I preserved capital, which is good, but I'm almost too good at that. That's part of it. I'm too good at not preserving accounts. And I'm doing pretty well. I called so much of this. I called the bottom. I called this expansion. I called for a reversal. I called for lunchtime to do a lunch raid and come down and raid these lows. And it did another, like I saw this as I was taking off from my kid's swim lesson, like boom, my model was right there. It was everything I was waiting for all morning happened just after I had to leave the charts. So it's kind of frustrating when you can sit here and read the candles, know where it's going, and still screw it up. Like that speaks to me to the big difference between the importance of technical analysis versus the importance of psychology. Like, it's not my technical analysis that's screwing me up, it's my psychology that's screwing me up. And there's all kinds of psychological problems, right? If you're a trader, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're all going through a lot of the similar things, working through our inner demons to try to get there. But this is mine right now. This is the one that's prevalent at the beginning of this 90-day challenge as a beginner trader, is just not going break even. So I think I'm going to cut it there. I got a new rule and I'm going to go forward, and I'll show up tomorrow, 9:30. I hope to see you there.